Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. What's the difference on your team? Is it a player? Is it strategery? Something good, something bad? The whole band is here. Let's talk ball. Gotta look at the batter. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek, code Talkin10. Use that now through April, 10% off, no matter what you've done. John Boy, Jimmy O'Brien in the lab. Trevor Plouffe out in Kalinasty in BBD on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. We are back, and we're excited to talk to the people, because that's all we are, men of the people. Excited to hear about what's going on with your teams. You guys, as always, know your team better than us. So I'm excited to see our people talking about position. Our infield defense is better. Our bullpen's banging sliders this year. I don't know what the people have said. BBD lined it up for us. James, Vincent, Michael O'Brien, how are you?
I'm doing well. You guys are all wearing blue. I have a blue hat on, so I am in the group. I'm doing good. Happy to be here. I think I'm going to be on all the midweeks next month. Because the schedule is good. It depends on the Yankees schedule.
Yeah.
Trev, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you, James, on the program. I have my Shohei Ohtani, John Boy Media MLB Players crossover shirt because did you see the homer he hit last night? It was the hardest ball hit in the big leagues this year, 118.3 miles an hour, something like that.
Holy
So
smokes.
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it was an absolute bomb. A lot of those last night. Jake, what kind of shirt you got on?
I'm wearing my UConn Natty Champs shirt.
Yeah, you are.
I made a decision back in 2011. College kid with no money. UConn won it all. And I was like, do I have the $30 to buy the UConn Natty Champ shirt? And I said, you know what? Yeah. And now
you stole it.
Every time they win, the second after they win, you get that first commercial ad that pops up. UConn has won the national title. I buy the dumb shirt. I don't care. And then Shelfie, who's a new John Boy Media guy, he's a UConn guy. He bought a shirt and wore it the other day, so I kind of couldn't let him take that from me. So I kind of had to establish my dominance in that lane. So
I just saw the pitch Shohei hit out, and it was can't be doing that.
No, not the show.
Come on, Barnes. Second hardest hit ball yesterday, Gary Sanchez.
He looks, when Gary gets that leg kick up early, the pitcher's like, fuck, he's on time. What is that little sinker he threw to him? That was a bomb. He looks very strange to me in a Brewers uniform. I will say that. Looks good, but strange.
He's just the best, man. I hope they like him out there. I don't know what his numbers are on the year, but I could watch that slow leg kick and then bat to it so many times, and I will. That's twice right now.
a lot of good juice going on in Milwaukee. Milwaukee not on the phone call list, right?
No, and there were calls about them, but I'll be honest, they called about weird stuff.
Okay.
The Brewers
Milwaukee.
fans that called in didn't really understand the assignment.
Well, they finally got a manager there.
Yeah.
Finally. So
yeah, now that they've moved
that's
on
helping
from
them
council.
out a lot.
When's the first Cubs Brewers series? They're on top of the Central right now. It's gonna be heated.
Do you think the Cubs what are we paying council right now? What are we doing?
No.
How much is Pat Murphy making?
No, Trev, because that's the difference. That's why Michael Bush is hitting.
Looks like Brewers head to Milwaukee first weekend of May. Brewers head to Chicago. Council returns to Milwaukee end of May. That there's a 4-gamer the 27th through the 30th.
Going to be a big May in the NL Central. We're always saying that. Let's hear what you guys have to tell us about what's changed with your teams, and it's brought to you by Shady Rays. You guys know Shady Rays by now. They've been with us. They've been with our warehouse for a while now. I wear my Shady Rays every day. For those on the YouTube machine, wearing them right now. They're my go-tos. Convinced Jack Doyle from We Got Ice. He started wearing the Jake Shades. John Boy's been busting out the Joms a little bit recently. And Shady Rays has a ton of sunglasses on their website. Sorry, my Wisconsin was showing a little bit there. Over 300,000 people have given 5-star reviews, and my favorite thing, when you find the pair you like, they have their lost and broken replacement guarantee, which means you basically get Sunnies for life. So, for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com, use code TALKIN, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. And that offer applies to the custom Jimmy and Jake collab shade. So go check those out. Go check out the whole website, shadyrays.com. Code TALKIN, 50% off 2 or more pairs.
I think the biggest difference about the Tigers this year is that they're actually competitive in April. This is something that goes back to 2021, really. I mean, the beginning of A.J. Hinch era, they've been atrocious in April and May, all 3 years in the past. So for them to be over 500 at this point, they're actually able to hit the ball a little bit, which they haven't been able to do for the most part either. I think that's the biggest difference, and I think that's why they're looking quite a bit better, and we have a lot more hope this year.
I love it. Our April doesn't suck. Trev, you just watched the Twins play the Tigers a little bit. I know you gave a couple tidbits there. I think it's funny that this person came out and said, hey, we're hitting a little bit this year. They are 24th in average, 26th in on base, 25th in OPS. I do think that's a tick up from where the Tigers have been the past couple years. 20th in runs, which that's my favorite offensive stat still. But I guess, did you see anything different with the Tigers?
They're 11-10 in April. They did play a banger in March. They went 3-0 in March. So I think we're including that together.
Wow. I'm taken back by this guy's call. I'm glad they're happy in Detroit.
Yeah.
They've won 2 series.
Yeah,
they've won 3 series, I think.
I think they put themselves in big holes.
This is where I always get confused about other teams, how they judge what they're doing. They should be better than this. They're supposed to be. Everyone told me the Tigers were for real.
I think that each team does have, each fan base does have like a different set of, just looks at it through a different lens, if you will. The Tigers haven't exactly been super competitive as of late, James. So I think anything of a semblance of competitiveness really does it for them. I think that all of the AL Central really does feel that way, to be honest with you. If you're over 500 in the AL Central, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
When did he call in? They have won 3 of their last 4, so maybe he's riding high.
Well, and I think the other thing that he's doing is, and thank you for calling in, he's comparing it to the previous Aprils. In 2021, they went 8-19 in April.
Yeah, their season was over right away.
Yes, last year they went 2022 they went 7-13 in April, and then 2023 they started off 10-17. So I think just the fact that they haven't been submarined yet has them feeling better.
I mean, they got a couple guys throwing the ball really well for them. So I don't know if it's necessarily like the hitting aspect of it. No, there's a couple guys doing some things. Riley Green had a big night last night against the Rays, but it's really like Skubal is like, he's a freak. I watched a few of his starts now, and I'm like all on the bandwagon because he is a horse. He's got some funk. He's got the stuff, obviously, and he elicits very, very poor swings against big league hitters. But I think the main thing and the reason that they're, where they're at right now, and maybe, where we have some sort of confidence in this team going forward, is that bullpen's been absolutely lights out. So you get a lead, and you can go back very far with this, that the Tigers have had tough times finding ways to close games out. And now they don't have that problem. So you're getting these leads and you're holding them, and that's how you win baseball games. And it seems like an easy thing to think of, but ask some other teams around the league that don't have a put away bullpen. Ask the Astros how that feels right now. They're supposed to have this incredible bullpen, and they've just been coughing up games. I think that's probably a big difference for the Tigers as well. I mean, you're looking at the back end of that bullpen, and you're looking at guys who are just, every single one of them is performing. That's got to be a big reason for it.
I'm excited for them. I haven't seen the Yankees haven't played the Tigers yet. I've seen just highlights. Like, I haven't sat and watched a Tigers game yet. But I've been watching the MLB rundown recap they're doing this year on the MLB app. Those are pretty nice. It's like all the condensed games combined into a 30-minute video.
Like that?
Yeah, it's been pleasant.
There's a couple hitters. Go ahead.
Javi Baez, last 10 games, 273, 314, 769 OPS. They've been praying for something like that. And I think with the lineup, it is kind of funny. The Tigers' lineups have been so bad the past couple of years that Riley Green, Mark Canha, and Kerry Carpenter going, like that's more than they have had.
I think Kerry Carpenter's for real, too.
You love
watching him. I am. At first, it was kind of a joke because I love the whole Jesus comparison. And, you know, he was having a good year, but you got to prove it a little bit more. Like, he's a solid big league hitter. He really is. And he's got a little bit of swag with him. How about this? Relief pitchers, first in ERA, third in whip, first in hits per 9. Like, you're not letting guys get on base. That's exactly what you want.
Good formula. All right. What do we got next?
I mean, it's got to be the best numbers in the big leagues as far as bullpen.
SDRA.
Hi, what's going on? My name is Daniel. I'm a fan from the Bay Area, and my team is the San Francisco Giants. And, you know, I think this is kind of crazy to say out loud, but actually having a consistent leadoff hitter is kind of cool. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, like last year we had Lamont Wade against the righties and Austin Slater against the lefties, hitting leadoff, and nothing against those guys, especially Lamont, because he's been killing it, but he's much better as a 2-hitter. And so with the addition of Jung-Hoo Lee, man, like him hitting leadoff every day is just such a breath of fresh air. A guy who can go in, take pitches, and just get on base is just such a welcome addition, and it's just amazing. So I think that's been the biggest change for the San Francisco Giants in 2024 is a consistent leadoff guy.
Love it. Jim, you're our Bay Area guy.
Yeah.
You asked the Yankees for a bunch of years to run out the same lineup.
Yep. He only leads off against righties, which makes sense. So they're still platooning a little bit, but you have the better half of it. Like Slater is getting, I think, all the starts against lefties. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's nice. That is kind of like, and then Rosario's in the 9-hole for them. And then they move it around a lot. It looks like Flores and Wade are rotating, platooning first base in the 2-hole. So they just have, what are their splits versus lefties and righties? Because they have a completely different 1-2 versus lefties compared to righties. Like a different.
Where do you find that stat?
I got it. Hold on.
Let's see. Usually
it's on.
Baseball
They're
Reference.
3-3 versus left-handed pitchers and 9-10 versus righty. Well, okay. So
there you go.
Same.
I've watched quite a few Jung-Hoo Lee at bats this year. He does put up good at bats. The overall statistics, I mean, haven't been exactly, you know, off the charts. I think he's slowed down a little bit, but there is something to be said about running the same lineup out there and feeling consistent. I think fans tend to like that as well. You kind of like know what you're gonna get. The Twins I watched mostly, and they do not do that. They are not about running the same lineup out there at all. They tried Julian at the leadoff spot. That didn't really work out. So now they have him hitting second. Alex Kirilloff, they've just moved in to try to spark things around. Sometimes I think that is okay. If you need to you know, if it's not working, obviously you need to try to change some things around. But the Giants are playing pretty good baseball. I think that's kind of, I wonder if that's going to be his skill set in the big leagues, you know, going forward, Jung-Hoo Lee, if he's going to be just a leadoff hitter or if he finds himself, you know, developing a little bit more power and ending, you know, back in the 2-hole, 3-hole, something like that. Because I think he's got that in him as well. I think you'd almost want to see him turn into a middle of the order bat.
I started thinking that it's a little, like, it's a big ask. You never seen any of these pitchers before to be the leadoff guy, where you're like, you know, supposed to see pitches, take close calls, work counts, and you just never seen this stuff from any of these pitchers. So that's a tough ask. And then I countered myself in my own head and said, well, you know, this is going to better suit him to get equipped to Major League Baseball faster. And his stats, well, you said they're not like jumping off the page. They're not bad. They're above average. They're good. And you always got to wait till second time through the league, in my opinion. But yeah, I kind of like just throwing him in the deep end, being like, yo, go see a ton of pitches. This is going to help you out.
2 best on base percentages on the Giants right now. Lamont Wade's crushing it, 456 OBP. And then you got Patrick Bailey. Dare you put a leadoff hitter or a catcher as a leadoff hitter? Has that ever been done in like the history of baseball? I don't think you can do it.
Well, Schwarber is bucking that trend. I know he's not catching, but
our guy Jason Kendall is kind of one of the more
Jason
famous
Kendall.
ones.
We got to go back a little bit for that.
It's too early for John Jay. So I think Adley snuck a couple in when he was just getting on base for the Birds.
He's definitely had a few days up there. It hasn't been like he's set up there, but.
And Jim, you mentioned Jung Hoo Lee's season stats aren't too impressive. He had kind of that second week of the season. He had a nice little funk. He hit his first home run, and we were all celebrating that little funk. Last 13 games, 321, 379, 813 OPS. So
there you go.
That's like that traditional lefty, slappy leadoff hitter that, I don't know, that was like the baseball dream for 80 years, and then guys like Schwarber started popping up.
Here's some fun stats about the Giants I just found. Their starting pitchers have the highest ground ball rate, second highest ground ball rate in Major League Baseball. They're the third best in walks, so they don't walk anyone, Giants starting pitchers or pitchers in general. And they also don't strike anyone out. So they're just getting the ball in play to their defense, which is helping them probably. I'd love to see like the innings by starters. Seems like that's a good recipe. I don't know that for sure. And they have the third lowest strikeout rate, the third best walk rate of starting pitchers. And they're shifting the lowest amount in the league. So I wonder if
how are we measuring shifting nowadays?
I think it's if like the middle infielder is really close to the bag, that's shifting. For a lefty, the shortstop is still going right to the middle, like up to that line. So I guess they're not doing that. They have the lowest. So their ball and play team, defensively, it seems, from those numbers, which
Logan Webb went 8 innings last night, I believe.
That leads to a watch that I would enjoy.
Matt Chapman, Nick Ahmed picking it at shortstop on the left side right now. That's fun. How's Giants fans? How's Jung Hoo Lee look defensively? Let us know. I know that was an in-between area. Or is one of those like he won Gold Gloves over there, but everyone was like, we don't know.
Scouting report was weirdly negative on his defense, like won't stick in center.
Yeah, and then the Giants.
I don't know what it's looked like.
Giants were hyped to put him in center. Okay, go Giants, go.
6'1", 192 for Jung Hoo Lee. He's gonna put some pounds on. I love looking forward to later stage ball players putting some meat on, hitting some homers. I could see that happening.
Defensive metrics on him. Outs above average, 65th percentile. Arm value, 74th percentile. 94th percentile arm strength. So he's at least throwing the ball in a way that the metrics like. Curious what Giants fans have to say about it.
Wow, Nick Ahmed and Tyro, both outs above average, really enjoying them. So up the middle, they're strong. And then you got Chapman, who right now is neutral, outs above average, but Chapman's pretty good. So their defense is great. That's why they're not moving them around that much. And sounds like the pitchers are being told, hey, man, just let them put it in play. Get ground balls. That's an awesome formula. Giants, are you enjoying watching that? You should win more games. Then it'd be more fun.
Get to 500.
Yeah.
Big game tonight. Snell Mania.
Ooh, Snell you later.
Harrison Monroe. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I just wanted to talk about how the Kansas City Royals, anytime they're doing better, MLB just seems to thrive way more, okay?
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's on fire right now, and literally the starting pitching in general, even the bullpen, everything is just 10 times better than last year, and look at the MLB season. It's 10 times better than last year. Let's go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Love your guys' show. Bye.
Love that. I'm so happy for that guy. So happy. Your viewing experience is top notch this year.
It's just it's directly correlated. When the Royals are good, baseball's good. he say anything about the team?
I agree with that.
The pitching is
when the Yankees
overall
are good,
better.
I enjoy baseball more.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
I mean, they have some really fun players to watch, especially offensively. The pitching has been great, and it's kind of a cast of type of guys like Brady Singer and Seth Lugo have been doing their thing. Yeah, Cole Reagans, who everyone was hot on, has had some rough starts. His numbers are the worst of the starting five. I think you got to be a little cautious going forward. I don't want to rain on Royals parades. I know the Twins haven't been great either, so join me in my misery maybe coming up. But their offense is so fun to watch, man. Last night, Vladdy made an error, gets Bobby Witt Jr. up, and like you felt it. You felt like he was going to come through, and he did. Puts him ahead with a double down the line, and Sal is still going hot. MJ Melendez looks really good. Vinny's got like a 15-game hitting streak or something like that. Like they are starting to have a core, and I don't know how much longer Sal is locked up for, or how much longer he can produce at this rate. But I hope it's forever.
I lean forever.
But I mean, they are a fun brand of baseball to watch. They can play some defense too. They're exciting.
Well, their starting pitching is the story, like he said. They have the fourth best ERA in baseball right now. Last season, they had the fourth worst starter ERA.
Yep.
Reagan's got Orioles on 420, it looks like, but he had a 193 before that. So
yeah, they teed off on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think rooting for the Royals should be a little bit of a baseball thing just because it feels like they're doing things the right way. Like Salvi Perez is kind of their legacy guy that they locked up who's probably going to get a statue outside. Bobby Witt is the next guy who they locked up and MVP candidate and all that. And then this team actually had an off season where they signed starting pitching. They reworked their whole bullpen. They plugged some holes on offense with veteran guys and Renfroe is there, Adam Frazier. I know neither of them are really going, but I don't know. That's supposed to be how off seasons are supposed to work. Like our team has holes, we filled them with guys, and now we've got a better product.
Dude, think about the guys they brought in: Seth Lugo, Brady Singer, Michael Wacha. Like if your team did that in the offseason, you'd be like, "Oh, what? Come on, guys! Like, can we go get like a front of the line starter instead of these three dudes?"
Singer's been there,
but those three guys are at the top of that rotation, and they're doing it. I'd like to know what the difference is. I mean, I guess Wacha had a good year last year too, didn't he, with the Padres?
Yeah, Wacha and Lugo have been good. They're just.
But Lugo's been like a swing man in and out of the rotation. We're seeing a lot of that around baseball this year.
Yep. My dude
Ranger.
Ranger.
Swingers, huh? A lot of swingers. How long has Singer been there? Forever?
Forever.
Oh. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a different person then.
Yeah, Singer he broke out in 22 and then he full collapse last year and now he's back to being good.
Oh, brain fart there.
Is he still really angsty looking on the mound? I always like that about him.
He's got a very nice smile on his Baseball Reference headshot.
Okay, I like that.
Where's his hair at? Because his Baseball Reference pick is a little in between Brady Singer.
He might be hat fishing people.
Well,
do we agree with the sentiment that baseball's better when the Royals are good?
No. For me, no correlation. But for him, 100% a correlation.
Yeah.
For White Sox fans,
Case by
probably
case.
opposite.
Depends on the
White
roster.
Sox fans are reeling right now.
They're underground. They're bears in a cave. Hibernation season.
White Sox. Know what the White Sox need? Just bats.
They do.
Attention,
They need
attention. New partners with us. It's Just Bats, the largest online bat store. They've got everyone. DeMarini, Easton, Louisville Slugger, and more. Baseball, softball bats, over 1,000 models. Whew, those BB Core baseball bats. Wood bats, youth bats. If you're looking for bats, I would say check out Just Bats.
Just Bats.
I know Coach Trev is with his team, and we just got some Just Bats that we're going to be messing around with soon. So, the place to buy your baseball and softball bats is Just Bats. There is not a better online shopping experience than the one you'll receive from them. Head over to justbats.com today to find your next gamer or some new lumber. There's a link in the description. Save up to 80% off with free shipping and free returns on every order. If you're looking for bats, Just Bats, people.
Just Bats. I need to go there.
There's a link in the description for
Teddy
you.
has been on me about a new bat. So here I go.
This is Bryson from San Diego.
San Diego.
My Padres seem to have that dog in them this year that they lacked last year. Last year, if they got down in a hole, even if it was just the first inning, they just never seemed to be able to get out of it. In fact, I would often turn the TV off. And this year, whether it's 3, 4, even 8 runs, they just seem to be at least fighting back and showing that they aren't giving up. So definitely winning games that they lost last year and giving us hope here in San Diego. Thanks, guys, and Jake sucks.
Whoa.
What was that at the end?
Tough. I'm sorry about that.
How about they had the 8-0 comeback game against the Cubbies this year. I don't know. I've always been a fan of if you get one of those earlies, just knowing you have that in the chamber is such a strong feeling as a baseball team. So if San Diego really has that, I don't know about the dog thing, even though that's what our Yankees are doing, but when you have an 8-0 comeback up your sleeve, the team feels it.
Yeah. I mean, that is, although the Guardians, I think, had like the best comeback ever a couple years ago. I remember listening to the Rose rotation, and Hedges was like, I'm going to rewatch that game when the season ends. I was like, really? It was like the Naylor one. We had 2 grand slams or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I think you need a couple. But, you know, in 2009 when the Yankees walked off the Twins like 4 games in a row, they talked about that later on. Like, we did that. We can do it again. And it rung true.
Damn.
Twins, worst starting pitcher ERA in baseball. Nope, 28th worst. Trev.
They're coming.
Thanks, James, for that. Here's what about the Padres, because that was what the question was about. I don't know if you remember that.
My bad. That's my bad.
Oh,
I think we are going to get to the Twins eventually. Can't wait to talk about them because they're the hottest team in baseball. 2 wins in a row. Thank you very much, Alex Kirilloff. I think the difference with the Padres is it's kind of like who's contributing early for them. I think a lot of the times last year, we would talk about how top heavy the lineup is, and we talked about that, you know, going into the season as well. Okay, what are the depth pieces going to be? Are they going to have a center fielder? All of a sudden, Jackson Merrill's coming. He's been really good. Profar is also contributing in a huge way out there in left field, and Mr. Irrelevant having some really big hits for him. Aggie Rosario manning third base when Machado's hasn't been able to play the field yet. If you look right now, I mean, Bogarts and Machado are like, they're not having the best starts of the year, and we're still getting victories because you have other guys throughout the lineup producing. I think Tatis kind of getting back to Tatis levels is big for them as well. So it does feel like a more complete roster this year than last year. And I think when you have that and there's not just pressure on, one portion of it, or, hey, we can kind of pitch around this portion of your lineup and get free outs at the bottom, I think that's a big difference for a team. I think that's a big difference when you're game planning for a team. So, I mean, the Padres do feel like 100% they're going to be in contention for a playoff spot, and they could be a scary team in the playoffs.
Have you guys talked about Aggie a lot, Rosario?
Aggie and Tyler Wade.
I think he might have gotten a standout or an award or something like that. But not a lot, James.
What he's doing is incredibly impressive. And also bad for the future of his career as a baseball player, because he might be the best pinch hitter alive right now, and he wants to start. I know he's in the platoon. He's got a 974 OPS as a pinch hitter. He comes in like every game, and he just is doing a good job.
Can I tell you some good news? Listed 5'7", 150.
Love
Name's
that.
Aggie. Yeah.
What was that follow-up?
Name is Aggie. Padres have like the best pinch hitting stats in baseball, and it's all. I was like, who? They have the most pinch hits, so they're using their bench a lot because they have the platoon there. And yeah, that's a lot, and to be doing really well at it, his numbers are better as a pinch hitter than as a starter.
He's got 20 games
slugging.
at third base, only 6 starts.
Yeah, 706 slugging. I would be very curious to know his prep. He's probably on that machine you hate. Now, you can't use it during games. It's illegal.
That's would be a fun storyline. I've obviously fallen in love with Jackson Merrill. He's got that. He's really good, and he's kind of got some young and dumb to him that he's got belief in his team to come back in 8-0 wins. I'm interested to see where these other young guys land for the rest of the season. Graham Pauley, who is the other young infielder who is going to get some run for them. Like Eggy, I don't know. He's 24. Is he going to – will one of those guys become a guy? Because that Padres lineup looks so much deeper than last year with Campusano being good and Merrill. Like, they kind of go 7 deep right now.
They look good. Go Ryan Cohen, go. He's, felt the love that we gave him on the last episode, Jake.
Yeah. It's a scary enthusiasm. It's a happy guy. I guess that's California stuff.
I still think he's got a little darkness in him. I think you're right.
We'll find it.
Padres are batting .271 against right-hand pitchers and just .200 against left-hand pitchers. That's the 3rd best against right-handed pitchers and the 5th worst against left-hand pitchers. But that is not coming up in their stats because they're 4-1 against lefties and 9-12 against righties.
Okay.
Just batting average. So maybe more pop, less average
Making
versus
those hits
lefties.
count.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Slam Diego.
Yeah.
The biggest change for my personal favorite team, the Baltimore Orioles, and one of the biggest changes in baseball right now is the emergence of the Orioles as a power-hitting team. We finished 17th overall, I believe, in home runs last year, currently home run leaders for the entirety of the MLB, on the back mostly of the scariest 7th and 8th slot hitting in baseball right now, Jordan Westburg and Colton Cowser. Let's go, O's.
Trev, these guys were your award the other day.
Yeah, we've been talking about them quite a bit. This whole lineup right now, and I posed this question, or Chris Rose posed this question, like, is this the deepest 1 through 9 lineup in the AL? I think it probably is. In all of baseball, like you might go Braves there. But they're not too far behind. And yes, I mean, the reason the power is up, have you seen the swings these guys are taking? Like, they're not getting cheated at all. Gunnar Henderson hit one last night against the Angels. Lefty, Matt Moore. I think I'm, of all these guys, and that you can go up and down the lineup with the Orioles and talk about each guy and how good they've freaking been. Gunnar Henderson, and I know he won National League Rookie of the Year unanimously, or American League Rookie of the Year unanimously last year. I think he's an absolute star. Like, legitimate is going to be like possibly on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Like, I'm putting a lot of chips into Gunnar Henderson, and maybe I'm late to the bandwagon, but when I watch him on that team, he's the one I'm most impressed with consistently. Like, he is something else. But yeah, it doesn't hurt when, like he said, your 7 and 8 hitters are just teeing off on balls, and it feels like I've heard them, being referenced by Orioles fans as like, the Bash Brothers. Like, these guys are just, when one hits one, the other one hits one. When one gets a big hit, the other one gets a big hit. When you have that at the bottom of your lineup, it's awesome. And they have, and Jackson Holliday hasn't even gotten going. He will eventually. He's too good to perform like he's been performing. And then Kjerstad came up last night. I don't believe he got any hits last night in his debut. But dude, I think I'm the latest person on the Orioles bandwagon. They're so fucking fun to watch. They're incredible.
Their slugging splits are, any way you dice it up, they're the best slugging team in baseball so far. They're slugging .460 this season, which is the best in the American League. They're slugging .465 against right-handed pitchers, best in the American League. They're slugging .357 with 2 strikes, best in Major League Baseball. Slugging .514 over the last 14 days. Slugging .478 at home. Just any way you punch up the slugging split, the Orioles are there. But they're last in the AL East in starting pitcher ERA. So in your faces.
Ooh. Well, I think Grayson got hit around a little bit last night, too.
I'm just joking. The Orioles are good.
By damn Angels.
They're too good for me to troll right now.
What's scary for me, to picture like 5 guys in that lineup at the same time slumping is hard to picture. Like, it will happen at some point, but that still means there's 4 other guys producing. And I don't know. I know Jim just mentioned the pitching. Burns is starting to find it. Good teams have a way of finding shit. They just called up Albert Suarez, who hasn't pitched in the show since 2017.
2 really nice starts.
2 starts clean.
And to correct, their pitching hasn't been bad. They're above average. The AL East has 4 of the top 6 starting rotations right now, which won't last, but it is funny to look at. Boston 1, Yankees 3, Toronto 5, Tampa Bay 6 starting pitcher ERA. So come at us. AL East, known for pitching, always has been.
So you guys are ridiculous.
Cole's not even throwing.
He throwing.
Tossing.
To reiterate, if people, I get asked this question a lot, I'm sure you guys do too, by casuals, if you will, of the fans of the sport. I don't think you have to say casual fans, you say casuals.
Yeah.
Like, give me a player that, I should know about.
Okay.
Gunnar Henderson is my answer right now. Like, he is, for the foreseeable future, like, he's going to be in the MVP top 5 conversation, which is, he's 23 years old, people. That's a bold statement to make, but it feels like a safe statement to make.
Mine's Shohei.
Oh, that's
if
pretty
I'm
good.
talking
That's
to casual fan, like my uncle George, like, you should probably
It's
watch
a baller
Shohei.
shirt, by the way.
Pay attention to
Go
him.
buy this shirt.
Cool shirt.
Barnes threw him a 86 mile per hour 2-seamer, top of the zone last night. Hammered it. 7,000 feet.
And he's using American wood, people. Thought he might be using that SSK wood from Japan. It's different.
Ippei stole those.
You can't get your hands on that if you're American. A little mad about that.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Okay.
How's your social battery right now? A lot of people can spread themselves thin, especially, weather starts getting better. You kind of come out of your hibernation.
You can't spread yourself thin.
But then
I can. See my toe touches?
You kind of realize, man, I need to recharge. I'm doing too much. Therapy can help give you the self-awareness to build a social life that doesn't drain your battery. If you're thinking about giving therapy a try, give BetterHelp a look. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So, find your social sweet spot with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TalkinBaseball. Today, get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TalkinBaseball. There's a link in the description.
And I'll text you a picture of my toe touch just so you can see me spread myself out.
Okay.
All right, boys. Well, here's the deal. Look, I'm a Rays fan. I rep the 813 till I die, till I bleed, basically. What's changed about my team from last year to this year? I don't know. Did they all forget how to swing a goddamn bat? Maybe that. Maybe Yandy Diaz hitting sub 200? What the hell's that all about? Maybe Randy Arozarena hasn't hit a homer in 2 months? Oh boy, what a season we're having. Thank God for our 2 acquisitions, Jose Caballero and Ahmed Rosario, carrying the offensive load. Look at the numbers. Look at the OPS of everyone. It's pitiful. Austin Shenton, love the guy. Great story. Absolute guy. But he sucks. I'm sorry. He sucks right now. And the bullpen's bad. All right, that's it. It's under 1 minute, I think, now. So that's it. Love you guys. Jake sucks.
Yeah, I mean, the clouds are gathering. I tried to tell everyone no one cares about the Rays anymore. They were the epitome of like, let's just throw the ball hard, hit the ball hard. Let's not work on defense. Let's not work on base running. Watching a Rays game right now, I don't know if you've seen it, Trev. All of baseball is sloppy, in my opinion. Rays are incredibly sloppy. They're a wild team. They look like a bunch of people that don't know each other and haven't been coached and are just hanging out at a sandlot. And then like one guy runs the extra base and the other doesn't. Or like they turn double, they're just not paying attention. It was a weird series when they played the Yankees. The Yankees also suffer from this a ton because they tried to be the Rays for 3 years and copy them and stop teaching fundamentals. So it's tough for the Rays, but you're in last place, and I hope you stay there forever.
Aren't they're 12 and 13 right now? I don't think the sky is falling just yet.
Yeah, they're going to be really good.
The Rays.
They're going to be in contention, and they very well could beat the Yankees by the end of the season.
I think I put an odd amount of money on Rays over 84.5 when I saw that.
Same.
So
Yeah,
I'm half
maybe go back and do it
Rams.
again right now. Yeah, see what the line is. Might have moved in your favor.
I'd
don't
like
know.
for them to be god awful if I had one team to choose.
That's interesting. It's them.
Well, I think they ruined baseball, and they don't pay their players, Trev. They're bragging about it every fucking
What,
thing.
do you hate players,
Look at
Trev?
that. You hate players? I thought you were on the player side. They put the graphic up. They're like, Yankees versus Rays, last 4 years. The Rays have they've won more games, but they've spent 1/10 of the money. Okay, congrats on being cheap.
Well, I'll say this. They did spend money on one guy that did not exactly work out for them.
How about checking in the
Spend
moral
money on
clause?
2 guys.
Holy crap. Who's the other guy?
No, they should spend money on 2 guys.
Oh, yeah, maybe 2 guys. Yeah, I mean, look, the bullpen's been bad. We've got some amazing Pete Fairbanks quotes after games, but right now they're 28th in ERA, 25th in WHIP. This is shocking to me. The 30th in walks per 9 is not. The 24th in Ks per 9 is. They're also giving up homers at an elite clip, 29th in baseball in homers per 9. So just like we talked about the Tigers and that bullpen saving you wins, if you get right now with the Rays, that bullpen is not being able to do what they need to do. Their starters are still doing well. Offense for me with the Rays has always been a conundrum. Like I couldn't understand last year how well they were performing offensively. I just didn't get it. They were all going at the same time. Right now it's not that way, but I do expect them to pick it up a little bit. Don't forget about our boy Richie Palacios.
He's actually been playing well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to look at the batting order for the Rays this time around because they are getting absolutely diced up by relief pitchers. And, they always had the platoons and the balance, but oh my goodness, they have no balance. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, 2 sneaky big injuries.
They
for
forgot
them.
about what they do.
Brandon Lau went down with an oblique.
Need a lefty.
And Josh Lowe. So Lau and Lowe went down. Those are their 2 like lefty homer threat every at bats. Those guys both have obliques going on. They need them back, man. Because I know Rosario and Palacios have been great, but right now those guys are slotting in like top of the lineup. And Randy, we heard it on the broadcast. He's officially on might have got too meaty this offseason, Trev.
Randy got too big, huh?
His bat speed is slowing down, has slowed down a lot, and his numbers versus fastballs are bad, which is what he feasted on. And yeah, I mean, you see this happen a lot. I think the other examples were Benintendi. He showed up to the Red Sox camp like bulky. Benny Biceps.
Yeah.
And Cora told him, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're a fast outfielder with, like, quick twitch. And his numbers dropped. Pena showed up for his sophomore season looking like a jacked kangaroo in Houston in his second year. So, yeah, there is a push come to shove where I'm not on the full, like, David Wells, or not David Wells, who said it? Like, you can't pull fat mindset.
A lot of old baseball players have.
But there is something to you don't want to be
ripped
if you're playing middle infield and like bat speed is your thing. It can slow you down. Like I think hockey players don't really bench. They keep their arms pretty. God damn it.
Could have been miles worse, huh?
Yeah, I just spiked my coffee onto my laptop.
My God.
I think the whole like fitness thing is a case by case scenario.
Sure.
Like if things are working out for you,
Right.
and maybe you're not so ripped, like I don't think you need to go ahead and try to get all yoked up and tighten those muscles more. Like it's what works for you.
Can I give you some numbers on Randy because they are interesting?
Please.
In
It's bad.
2022, he had a 311 batting average and a 570 slugging versus four-seam fastballs. So a 311 batting average, 570 slugging, that's elite. It's really good. Last year, the slugging stayed there, 541 slugging against four-seam fastballs. The batting average dipped to 248, still not awful. So far this year, 0.87 batting average versus four-seam fastballs and a 348 slugging. So until that gets solved, you're very easy to pitch to. Had a couple Yankees on the team that if you can't hit fastball, you're very easy to pitch to. Everyone's got that pitch.
And hey, the Rays had their undefeated April last year, and everyone was hitting, and the stats were kind of blowing our mind. Randy, from June on last year, was 230, 340, 716 OPS. So now, I don't know. That's almost 100 games last year, and if you add it to this game, he hasn't been the best to ever do it in a minute. So, I don't know. We're checking in on the Rays. We'll see. They'll be there.
They played a pretty tough schedule, though. I'm looking at it right now.
Get the low lows back. And their bullpen's been getting rocked, which is anti-Rays.
They played a tough schedule?
I mean, a decent. They played Toronto, Texas, Giants, Yankees, Tigers. I would say those are all above average teams.
Yeah, no, I think is.
And then the Angels, they played 7 games. They've been 4-3 against them. The Angels have kind of been wishy-washy. Colorado for 3. It's a decent schedule. I'm not.
No, I mean you
throwing the Rays away.
If that's your schedule, you're a Rays fan. I mean, when the Marlins come to town, or the White Sox come to town,
they're coming to town this weekend,
or the Rockies, or those Twins. I mean, I'm just joking.
That's okay. The Twins are not playing well right now. It's okay.
I don't know when their calls come
Hottest
in.
team in baseball
but,
now.
They're so bad.
Called it.
Who's that?
I'm being earnest with you. I was going over like their stats, and I was shocked that on both sides of the ball, they're just like the lowest.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Ketter here, huge Twins fans. What's up, Trev? We miss the Bulldog. We miss Sonny Gray. We miss everything about him. His presence on the mound, his working with the younger guys in the rotation, his baseball IQ. Having him and Pablo go 1-2 was huge for the Twins. So we miss that right now. But Bailey Ober, the Nightmare, and Sexy Joe Ryan starting to look pretty good, so we'll be all right. Go Twins. Thanks, guys.
Is that the most Minnesota call you've ever seen? He wanted to blow them up. He wanted to say something mean, but he just couldn't do it. He didn't have it. He had to end with a compliment. Holy. No, it's been the freaking offense. It's as much as you want to, point to Sonny Gray being gone or whatever, a blow up start here and there by a Paddock or I don't know. It's been the offense. It's been the inability to hit with runners in scoring position. It's been, guys just simply not producing. It's been Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa, and for most of the year, Max Kepler being out. Since Max Kepler's been back, they won 2 games, and he's been a spark in the offense. He's given them the lead in both of the games he's played in. So, to me, that's been the biggest thing. I mean, They have to get those guys back. No team can really survive if, 3 of your best hitters are out of the lineup. Maybe these, the Braves and the Orioles, but most teams can't do that. I think that's been 100% the biggest thing. So yeah, I mean, I miss Sonny Gray too. I think he was great for everyone. But if you listen to Chris Paddock talk yesterday, he was talking during the game. He's talking about how great Pablo is in that leader role. So I think they still have the leader as far as the rotation goes. And I still like their pitching staff. The depth is being tested for sure. Wish they would have went out and got Cease. But really, to me, it's just been the offense. And hopefully that starts clicking soon.
The offense is, you got some injuries, so you don't have full strength. But there's some numbers that, are super scary. Like you go like with the Yankees last year, I went and looked for stats that every team should be good at, when hitters are in a good spot, and the Twins just aren't there. So when facing a pitcher for the third time in a game, they're the worst in MLB on base percentage against the third time, batting average, and then righties. So you face a lot of righties, and if you let righties go 3 times and they get you the third time, like there's just a lack of adjustment there. It feels like what the Yankees went through last year, which I was banging my head. Like, how could we not be changing approach? How do you let starters do this to you when the rest of the league struggles? So hopefully that doesn't continue. But
we talked about this a little bit before the show. I think there has been a little bit of like a game planning issue going on. All these things can figure themselves out. I still do believe in the Twins. They have to be healthy. Like Royce Lewis has to come back. I guess he's trending in the right direction, but he's not gonna be back until June, I would assume. Massive quad pull. And then Correa, I think it's more Sonny Gray was great, and the Bulldog and getting all these guys fired up. I think Correa is even more so that in that clubhouse. Like when he is on the field, even last year when he wasn't performing his best offensively, like he was still such a huge presence in the clubhouse. I think they missed that a little bit right now.
They've gotten the White Sox medicine at the right time, that they need to take advantage of these games. And then Trev, it's like it's all on the table start of May. They are going Red Sox, Mariners, Toronto, Yankees, Cleveland. So for 17 games, they're getting some good AL teams that you either figure it out then. If they have another bad stretch, like it's like over.
Trevor, are they just taking giant hacks every pitch? The other category here that they're like the lowest in is 2 strikes. Lowest batting average with 2 strikes, lowest on base percentage with 2 strikes, and lowest percentage of putting the ball in play when they do swing at it with 2 strikes. So is it just get that A swing off at all times?
There's a little bit of that, a little bit of passiveness as well. Eddie Julian was pretty passive in the early going on where he was actually striking out looking quite a bit. He knows the strike zone so well that I think sometimes it kind of works against him, especially if you get an umpire that's going to, give you a little bit more around the plate. He still sticks to, well, I know the strike zone. Well, sometimes if the umpire stinks and is giving them something, you got to make an adjustment a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't want to go too deep into it. They need to make some adjustments there. I do things a little bit differently if I was getting the boys fired up.
Do we have a Mariners call?
No Mariners. They
have the second highest strikeout percentage in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
Yeah, they got rid of all those guys, didn't they?
They lead. So I had that last one wrong. The Twins are the second worst team at putting the ball in play when they swing at it with 2 strikes. The Mariners are the worst. So they're just, did they not let the batters know we're trying not to strike out, try to swing for contact with 2 strikes? Because it doesn't seem to be happening.
How many more we got, Beebs?
This is the last one.
With my team, the Cardinals, is that our rotation has gotten a lot more senior. And however, when you're going into the season, you thought that was a bad thing. Many people, talk down on our rotation. However, it seems as if Mosaic's, strategy of having innings eaters is actually paying off thus far, even though it's not long into the season. But I personally, as a fan, feel like our rotation has improved quite a bit over the last season. So I think that's the biggest thing with the Cards, my favorite team.
Sonny Gray, there you are.
Happy.
He's had 3 starts, 17 1/3 innings pitched, only given up 2 runs in that time. He's got an ERA plus of 403. I think that's good. I think that's what you want there.
Has it mostly just been Sonny though?
Lance Lynn's had good starts as well. He's had 5 of them, 2.81 ERA. The whip is a little high there.
Look at Lance go.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, looking at the statistics, I guess you wouldn't say that. But there could be some blow-up starts in there as well. I know Gibby's had a few good starts, a few poor starts. Right now, like if you're just straight up looking at WHIP and ERA, things can get really misconstrued because it's more of a small sample size, so the swings are bigger. So I mean, the pitching's helping them out. The offense really hasn't come around for them.
I mean, Gibby has 3 starts that you'll take and 1 terrible one that blows up his ERA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then Lynn, I think you take a lot of his starts early on. He had to build up to get there. So I don't know. It is a mixture. Like they are giving you innings, which does help. That should help you in the long run.
I know it's interesting to me. It looks like they have their pitching formula. Like obviously they have their rotation right now. It's kind of the 5 guys you thought it would be. So that's the start. And then the back end of their bullpen, Helsley, Romero, Kittredge, Gaye, like they have a formula there. They just got to start winning games. I mean, the NL Central looks strong this year. That I don't know. You're 10-14. Like don't get droopy on us. Finish April strong so it's not like a bad month.
You had this guy back in the day named Jordan Hicks in your bullpen. Now he's like the best starter in the big leagues. I know they tried that out actually, so you have to give them some sort of credit, but it just didn't work out. What's the difference? Like, why is he so good in San Francisco and then he wasn't when they tried it in St. Louis? That'd be nice to have in your back pocket, right?
As a starter, is he throwing like a sinker more with that defense? No, he's throwing his sinker less this year, and he upped his split finger. The split. Good job, Hicks. I mean, his numbers on his split finger are kind of nasty. 0.63 slugging on it, 0.63 batting average.
How about this for what he's done this year? I know we're not even talking about the Cardinals now, but 28 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts.
No need.
Was he ever a high strikeout guy? Yes, he was. I mean, he got up to 12.7 out of the bullpen in 2023 per 9. Right now, he's sitting at 5.8. And obviously, it's different when you're a reliever into a starter. You're going to approach pitching differently. But that shocked me when I just saw that number right there, 18 strikeouts in 28 innings.
So the velos come down as a starter, which is good that he's able to do that. He averaged 100 miles per hour on the sinker last year. He's averaging 95.8. That's a significant drop. And I'm going to toggle this to see the movement because now I'm wondering if with a little less velo, the sinker is moving more. 1 more inch of break. Maybe that helps. That splitter must really work off of it nicely.
I still believe in the Cardinals, but they are like the old dogs in the NL Central. We got a bunch of kind of teams that are really relying on their youth there. The Reds are youthful, the Pirates are youthful, Cubs are kind of middle ground, but they've been impactful in free agent signings as of late. The Brewers are youthful. Can the old guys keep up? I mean, right now the old guys aren't getting it done offensively for them. Goldie had the opposite field homer. We thought maybe the Nolan Gorman walk-off was going to get that offense going, and then last night they lost 14-1 against the D-backs. So the starting pitching really not great last night, but I think it's nice that Mason Wynn is going. I don't think was he like a big bat in the minor leagues? I guess I'm going to go look that up right now. I mean, he's got an 800 OPS through 76 plate appearances. I bet that's a welcome, a welcome sight for Cardinals fans. I'm going down to the minor league stats right now. 788 OPS in the minors in 3 seasons. It's not banger, but for a shortstop, that's pretty good.
Someone in that lineup's got to go nuts for a week or two. Paul
Wilson's been doing it.
Paul, Nolan, Donovan. Yeah, you're right, but God, they need their offensive numbers are rough.
Yeah, they're tough.
The biggest jump in Hicks, this is fascinating. I love this kind of stuff. So I'm lost in it. His first pitch strike. So the Giants are definitely, like I said earlier, just saying, hey, dude, throw strikes. He jumped up to a 66% of the time he's throwing a first pitch strike. His average was 58 the 2 years before that, down to 43 before that. So looking to get the swing and miss early or whatever, just like hit the perfect spot. Now he's 6.7% above league average, and that's allowing him to probably get chases because his chase percent is good as well, or his chase contact. So when he gets people to chase now, they're putting in play weekly. So the Giants are just having all their pitchers throw strikes because we got good defense. Maybe I'll tune into some games.
It's nice if you just have one of those good finds of the offseason. Like Jordan Hicks, clearly a good find. Shota Imanaga, clearly a good find. Like if your team has some of those, how good does that feel?
Seth Lugo.
Exactly. Brady Singer has never been with the Royals. What an idiot. I think I was thinking of Soroka. I don't know. I'm sorry.
They look similar. Just like if you just picture a blurry version of them right now. White guys.
My bad. I'm even wearing royal blue right now. Royals.
That's a Dodger shirt.
Blue. It is a Dodger shirt, but it's in Royals blue, kind of.
Baseball's better.
The Royals have royal blue. Is that their color?
I think like the color that is their color is royal blue. It's kind of nice.
I don't know.
But
okay. Well, thank you guys for letting us know what's going on with your teams. We will see you back here Friday. Let us know other teams that we missed. You know, we got some Jordan Hicks. We got some Mariners.
Singer and Soroka, they don't look alike. They're just both white.
Yeah, well, all white people look the same. Average white righty, except he's not. What team didn't we talk about that they're going to be mad? Oh, the Reds. You didn't talk about the Reds at all.
Sound off. DM Trev.
We didn't talk about the Blue Jays. Or the Mariners.
Evan Gossman, get it going.